Hey guys, MTGirl here with my #1 highly anticipated, super excited about this game, Star Realms Colony Wars. This is the expandalone. So I don't know who doesn't know about Star Realms. Super fun, incredibly detailed gameplay out of a tiny little box for a super low price point. As far as the the gameplay you get for price is like the best ever. So this is Colony Wars. The expandalone just came out. In fact, it's not even quite out. The main release of this isn't going to be till early next year, but backers of Epic or those who ordered from White Wizard Games online store got to pay a premium price, admittedly, a premium price to get it early, because they had to push for fast shipping to get airshipped in time for the end of the year. There's some big holiday coming up. People give gifts to each other. Anyway, so they pushed it out to get it before that. And so here it is. It just came in the mail. Super excited about this one. Probably the game that I have logged the most games by far. Exponentially, I've played more games of this than any other game in my collection. Mostly because of this fantastic app they have. Easy to play, great, amazing. So it's won a ton of awards, Star Realms has. So you can see, they've just Golden Geek, Best 2-Player Game, Best Small Publisher, and award after award these guys have won. Game design by Darwin Castle. Rob Doherty is also on board with this. 2 Magic Hall of Famers. So really great pedigree behind this game. I can go on and on about it, but you just want to see what's inside. So let's get out our professional unboxing tool and get into this game. Okay, so here we go. Here is my professional equipment here. Gonna slice this shrink and get into Colony Wars. Woohoo! Alright. Get that off. And again, simple box. I don't think I've had my Star Realms game in the original box for a long time now. So this will probably never go back in this box. Okay, the cards are packaged into 2 different sets here. Card backs so far are identical to the original set. We'll make sure those are the same. Oh, we have these dreadful authority cards again. Alright, rule book. Here we go. I have all sorts of different ways to play this game. As far as multiplayer goes. So this looks pretty much like from Star Realms. Oh, they even have rules? Let's see. Oh, basic rule. Here we go. This is the multiplayer rule booklet. There's another one in here. I totally missed it. It didn't come out with the rest of it. Alright, here we go. I was wondering, no basic rules? They figure everyone who's gonna play this has already played Star Realms enough. We don't need the rules anymore. Alright, no, here we go. 2-player rules. So here's our contents. Yeah, those awful authority cards. This rule sheet in the contents. Very nice. So a little bit of our iconography going on, and a little focus would help you read all of that. There we go. So I'm not going to go over the rules, but simple little fold-out rule booklet with a good little list of the icons, and not a whole lot of iconography in here, but definitely fairly language dependent, although if you can just simply memorize all the cards in here, then you'll be fine. But otherwise, yeah, pretty language dependent, this game. So let's see, which one should we start with? I always seem to pick the wrong pack to start with. We'll go with this one. It's got these authority cards. It's nice that a card game, they include a way to keep track of your life. And I can see that there is a pull tab here somewhere, but I think it got sealed in with the edge here. I cannot get that pull tab up. Okay. Anyway, so these authority cards, it's nice that they included a way to be able to keep track of your health with the box, but they're a pain to actually use. So I highly recommend getting yourself either a simple life counting app, or go ahead and grab some of your Magic the Gathering spin down dice. So super easy way to keep track of life that way instead of these cards. So yes, I mean, it's nice that they put something in there. In a pinch, you've got these authority cards to keep track of your life, but constantly swapping out, okay, now I've got this many, I've got to flip it over to here. Now, oh, I need a change for a 5, so flip over once. How much is that? It's just, in actual use, really don't care for the authority cards. So I have mine sitting around, but they never get used. They're not even in the game box anymore. So here we go. We have cards. Let's see. Okay. So this must be the second pack. See, I always pick the wrong one first. So let's just go ahead and see our basic cards. So here we have our scouts. These are in our starting hands, and they look like the art is identical to the first set. So Vipers, Explorers, yay. Okay, so these cards are the same. No updated art, no different art, just your basic Scouts and Vipers. So then moving on to the cards that we're going to be playing with new cards. So here we've got some of our blue faction here going on. Woohoo, this faction gets a whole lot of health gain going on, some draw going on, but really they excel at getting a lot of this authority gain. And again, the focus would help. Okay, so here we have the Federation, Trade Federation, Ship Trade Hauler. So we're gonna get some gold here. For 2, you're gonna get a 3. So that's pretty good return on your investment there. So a lot like there's a blob that does pretty much the same thing, but instead of getting health, it does some extra damage for the faction ability. Storage silo. All right, so this is going to go down in front of us sideways. It is a base, so your opponent can choose whether or not to blow this up because our shield here is silver. So a little bit of health gain every turn. Not bad. And probably, if you match it up, you're going to get some trade. There you go. Patrol cutter. So a little bigger version of the regular cutter. Little extra damage here instead of the health. So we flip-flop those around. Cutters are the lifeline of the Federation colonies. Yeah, and the cutters have been arguably underpriced. So let's see a little bit more of that cutter action. 3 of those. And we have Fairy. Ooh, scrap ability, destroy target base. Nice. Love having scrapping, because then you can just get them out of your deck if you don't need them later on in the game. Which, later in the game, you probably don't need all this trade. I mean, Authority is great at any time, but you might want to weed your deck out of those if you've gotten it thinned down enough. Get rid of one of those pesky little bases. Central Station. Ooh, so this one plays with other bases. If you've got 3 or more in play, including this one, you gain 4 and draw a card. Nice. Nice. I love seeing more of the expansions have been dealing with if you have a lot of bases. If you or your opponent have a lot of bases, gaining bonuses for having multiple bases. Hello! Colony Siege Ship. Wow. We've got 3 of each. And when you acquire this card, if you play a Trade Federation's turn, you may put this card directly into your hand. Holy shnikes. That's got our little rare icon here. So there's only one. That's pretty awesome. Wow, for 5 trade, if you've played another Trade Federation, put right in your hand. Whew, okay. Peacekeeper for 6. Hefty amount of damage, hefty authority gain here, and drawing a card with that, that faction allied ability. Okay, Federation Shipyard. It's an outpost, so this has to be blown up before any damage gets through to the player. So if you match up blue, you get a ship to the top of your deck. A lot of the original game, base game cards only let you put ships on top of your deck, but this lets you put a ship or base. Nice variety here. Gives you that little extra trade and protection. Nice little outpost there. Cool. Oh, this one's pretty. You get a view of the planet side with lush greenery. Loyal colony. Again, we've got the 3 of each. And this is only a base, so they could bypass this base for damage. And there you go, just 3 of each. It's going to cost you 7, but holy cow with the variety. Nice. And Factory World. Woo! Alright. So this is our 8 cost outpost. So Factory World, 3 trade and put the next ship or base you acquire this turn into your hand. This is going to give you a lot of that trade that you need to buy anything, and just put it into your hand. Play it this turn. That's really cool. Maybe not as powerful as the Brain World is in base gameplay, but that's pretty awesome. Okay, so a few cards from the Trade Federation in that stack. So the rest of these should all be just faction cards here. Okay, so let's get back to the rest of the Trade Federation while we're going at it. See, I totally opened these in reverse order. Should have started for the other pack. I always choose poorly. Alright, so Solar Skiff, just a little cheap one to give you 2 trade and possibly a draw card. Got 3 of those and another trade hauler. Alright, so that was that with that. So not a lot of damage at all going on with the Trade Federation in this set, in this expandalone. Really very small amount of damage. So you're not going to want to go mono blue if you're only playing Colony Wars. Let's see. Okay, and then the deck, the faction that has a lot of damage traditionally is the blobs. Alright. Wow. Okay, so our 1-cost blob here, the Swarmer, is going to give you 3 damage for a little cheap 1. You may scrap a card in the trade row. And then an additional 2 if you match that faction ability. Cool, these Swarmers, they look like little fish. That's pretty cool. Even got like the false eye on the side. Nice art here, and it's coming at at the trade outpost over here. Pretty cool. Alright, so those are our basics. There's 3 of those. Let's see. Ooh, we've got a 2-cost base here. Stellar Reef. Just going to give you 1 trade. And you can scrap it for a little extra damage. Pretty nice. There's 3 of those. Predator. More fishy looking things. These blobs look a lot more aquatic. Let's see, 2 cost here, 4 damage, and possibly draw a card. Not too bad. Nice amount of damage for a 2 cost. Cargo pod. Wow. All right, so we've got both a little bit of trade, some damage with faction ability, and you can scrap for extra damage. I love cards that scrap. I mean, just being able to use that card and then get rid of it if you need to make your deck a little more streamlined. Really can't argue with that. Alright, Ravager. And, oh, we're blowing up some Trade Federation here. 6 damage for a 3 cost. You may scrap up to 2 cards that are currently in the trade row. So get rid of some of those cards that you don't want your opponent to buy. that you might not be able to afford this turn because you've been focusing too much on buying damage. You want quick and fast and painful with the blob faction. Bioformer is base here. A little bit of damage and scrap for some extra trade there. Not terrible. I'm not sure that's really a great card, but you can't have all great cards. Oh, Parasite. Attacking the freighter here. 5 cost, 6 damage. Require a card of cost 6 or less for free. Whoa. And then draw a card. Wow, for 5. That's amazing. Only one of those too, so go after it if you find that one. That's a great card. Alright, Plasma Event. Costs you 6. When you acquire this card, if you played a blob card this turn, you may put this card directly into your hand. There you go. More of that directly into your hand stuff. That's dangerous. There's a Moonworm. That's pretty cool art. 7 cost blob ship, 8 damage and draw a card. Not bad. Oh, and then you can acquire a card of cost of 2 or less for free and put it into your hand. That's nice. Alright, and the Leviathan. Whoa, 8 cost, 9 damage, draw a card, destroy target base, and possibly acquire a card cost of 3 or less for free and put it into your hand. Wow. Alright, that blob faction is not messing around. And like, no, like very little trade. I mean, there's scrap for some trade there, a little bit of trade here, but you know, you're probably going to scrap that fairly, you know, probably in mid-game you're going to scrap that. But like very little trade in this faction. So either you're going to go real fast and dirty, or I mean, you can't get to this Leviathan really unless you get super lucky. If you're going mono green, you're going to need to bring some other factions in there. So a lot of these factions seem a lot more streamlined so far. I want to say they're really not going to be able to play these with just one faction. You're going to have to diversify and get some of these factions playing together. Alright. BattleBot. Scrap a card in your hand. That's a first. Otherwise, all the other machine cult, usually you have the option in your hand or in your discard pile. But I guess that's the trade-off for this being only a 1 cost with 2 damage and scrap. Only in your hand. That's a little painful. That's a little painful, and there's 3 of those. Alright, we have a Wandering Beacon. Little outpost, going to give you a tiny bit of protection here. Early game, it might block a tiny bit of damage for you, but otherwise this is just going to disappear from in front of you really fast. So 2 damage when you acquire this card. If you've played a machine cult card this turn, you might put this card directly into your hand. So really early game, a decent little base, but late game, don't even bother. At least, I mean, I'm saying this without having gotten a chance to play Colony Wars yet. I'm just basing it on my experience from the base game and all the other expansions thus far. But let's see, Repair Bot, going to cost you 2, give you 2, and this one only lets you scrap a card from your discard pile. So if you don't have a discard pile, sorry. And, 3 of those. Okay. So really, more specific there. Convoy Bot, 4 damage. Scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. So that's more typical of the machine cult. So yeah, only until you get to the 3 cost do you even get the ability to scrap from either hand or discard pile. 4 damage with that one. Okay. 3 of those guys. The Oracle. Scrap a card in your hand. Just your hand. A 5 protection outpost, and it's got that faction ability, so not too bad. Only 1 of those. Have the Mining Mech. So that's going to give you 3 trades. Scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. There you go. Looks like this mining from some asteroid here. Alright, and the faction ability. 2 of those. Oh, Stealth Tower. Nice. Until your turn ends, Stealth Tower becomes a copy of any base in play, not just your own bases. Oh, wow. Stealth Tower has that basis faction addition to Machine Cult. So let's say your opponent has Brain World. You put this down. For this turn, the Stealth Tower is Brain World, and every turn you get to copy a different base. Wow. So that's very possibly a lot more dangerous than the Stealth Needle, because this doesn't go away. So that's why it's going to cost you a little more than the Stealth Needle, and it's got the protection of 5. That is a nice card. That is an amazing card. Only one of those for good reason. Alright, Met Cruiser. 5 cost, scrap a card in your hand or discard pile, 6 damage, and destroy target base with a faction ability. Only one of those. Let's see. Frontier Station. 2 trade or 3 damage. That's it. But, you know, 6 protection outpost. That's going to save you from a fair amount of damage. Look at this. That's a messed up looking ship. The Wrecker! 7 cost, 6 damage, scrap up to 2 cards in your hand or discard pile, and draw a card. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So not quite as powerful as like the Brain World or the Arc, because you're only possibly going to draw a card for doing that, but getting rid of 2 a turn is pretty crazy. Alright, the Incinerator. Scrap up to 2 cards in your hand or discard pile. Gain 2 damage for each card scrapped from your hand or discard pile this turn. Whoa! That could be a lot of damage. Pile that up with a bunch of the Machine Cult. This isn't going to come out till probably mid-game, but if you get some of those cards that let you bring stuff out immediately, this could be really powerful. Wow, okay. We've got the Star Empire, the Imperial faction here, Star Empire. Alright, so off the top we've got our 1 cost Star Barge. Let's see, it's going to give you 2 trade, 1 buy 1 for 2, that's pretty good, and your faction ability making them discard. That's what the yellow faction does a whole lot of, and we've got 3 of those. Cool. Okay, 2, we've got Lancer, 4 damage, and if an opponent controls a base, you get extra damage. So that's kind of an ability that we started to see with Crisis expansion. So again, some of that dealing with if your opponent has bases, they're going to pay for that. And then again, faction ability, you're going to make them discard a card. So 3 Lancers here. And another card that's making discard. So yeah, Star Empire. Tons of discard going on. The Falcon, a little bit of damage and drawing a card. So then if you scrap this card, you're going to force them to discard. Nice little extra boost there. Let's see. Got a base, 3 cost. Okay, if you discard a card, then you get to draw a card. So you don't have to do this. You can trigger this at any time you want during your turn. But you get to kind of cycle through your deck a little bit and get the cards that you do want. If you're not running a whole bunch of mech of the the Machine Cult, where you're going to be able to scrap a lot, then this is going to get you to form more of the hand that you want. And the ally ability here, some extra damage. So 3 orbital platforms, not too bad. Alright, Command Center, an outpost that gives you some trade here, and whenever you play a Star Empire ship, gain 2. Ooh. So that's not just a faction ability, that's for every every Star Empire, for every yellow ship you play, you gain 2 extra damage. That's pretty cool. A lot of extra damage there. You know, the base set didn't have a whole lot of damage coming from the yellow faction. You're dealing out the punishment with all that discarding. This has got some A lot more damage going on here. Let's see, the gunship, 5 damage, more discard, scrap for 4 trade. So you're going to put 4 into that investment that you can pull 4 out if you need to grab up that awesome card. So, very nice. Nice gunship, alright. Aging battleship. 5 damage again. Ally ability to draw a card. And, ooh, the scrap to draw 2 cards with 2 extra damage. Nice one. Alright. Heavy cruiser. More damage, more draw, and extra draw. We're getting to some of our heavier costs here. Supply depot cost you 6. Ooh. Discard up to 2 cards, and you get to gain either trade or damage for each card discarded that way. So nice use of some of those base cards that you might still have floating around in your deck. Nice little variety there. And then again, drawing a card. This is an outpost, so it's going to protect you. They're going to have to blow this up before they can touch you. Just one of those. Imperial Palace, big 7 cost outpost here. You draw a card and a target opponent discards a card, and a little extra damage. Not terrible. Maybe not as great as some of the other 7 cost bases, but it is an outpost, so there's that. Whew, hello! An 8 cost ship from the Star Empire, Emperor's Dreadnought. So in the first iteration we had the Dreadnought. Here we have the Emperor's Dreadnought. Cost you 1 more than the regular Dreadnought. A little more damage, some draw. Target opponent discards a card. When you acquire this card, if you played a Star Empire card this turn, you may put this card directly into your hand. Nice. A lot of that directly into your hand in this set. A lot more dealing with outposts and bases and kind of punishing your opponent for having bases and getting a little extra bonus for you having more bases. So the bases strategy a little more feasible in this set, it seems. Well, there you go. That is Star Realms Colony Wars. Pretty cool. Really excited about this one. Super awesome. So, initial feel, this looks like it'll be a good set to play just on its own. But super excited to see how these cards work in combo with the first Star Realms combined with some of the other expansions, the small expansions that have been coming out. Love to see a big game with a whole bunch of different cards, including these ones. Really excited about that. Well, thanks for watching my video. Let me know that you liked it with a little thumbs up. Really love seeing those, and they really help my channel out. And go ahead and leave a comment. What do you think of Colony Wars? Do you need a new set? I know there's a lot of purists out there who are like, oh, no expansions. Base Star Realms is so pure and blah, blah, blah. I don't agree with them. I think that these cards that deal with bases really flesh out some of those weak spots that the base game has. So love seeing cards that deal with the bases, deal with just a lot more variety. So way cool. Thanks for watching, and go ahead and click subscribe. You'll get alerted to when I open up more board games. I also unbox magic packs. Thanks for watching. Bye.